Hi, I'm Maureen Gold, and I'm also known as Happy Stampin' Mom. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in the U.S. in the state of New Jersey, and this is October's Stampin' Around the World video hop. Our theme this month is insects, so I chose to use the Painted Lavender stamp set. This stamp set has lots of beautiful lavender images as well as some really cute butterflies. So for the card today, you can see a sample right there, I am going to be using the coordinated dies and the stamped images as well. So I already went ahead and die cut two of the different images. So I die cut this one and this one. I did that already using some gorgeous grape cardstock and some pretty peacock cardstock. So we're going to bring those in a little bit later. I'm also going to stamp in a moment. I'm going to stamp these butterflies here, and then I will be die cutting them out. So I'm going to move this to the side, and you'll see that when we get to it. Inside, you can find the Perennial Lavender stamp set in the annual catalog. It is on page 78. Here's the information if you're interested in that stamp set. It is no longer sold as a bundle because it was in a prior catalog. So once it's not as new or it moves to the next catalog, it is not offered as a bundle anymore. So you can buy them individually. Here's the information for the stamp set, the information for the dies. And again, it's on page 78. You can see that I've highlighted some things. What I do is I highlight what I own. So what I've already purchased, I highlight so that when I go back through my catalog, I know what I have. So you can see that here and there. And then sometimes I forget to add in new things. Like I did buy this one, so I need to highlight that as well. So I just would take a highlighter and highlight it to show that I own that. So I know I can quickly find that. Okay, so along with using the stamp set, I'm going to use the coordinating Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper, which is sitting right here. This paper comes in 12 by 12 size. Some of these sheets are still 12 by 12. Some of them are not because I started using them. But this one has some beautiful lavender on there and some greenery as well. And if you flip it over, all greenery with a crumb, what is it called? Crumb cake? Yeah, like a crumb cake background back there. So you can see it layered on there. This one has some lavender and a close-up look, which is really pretty. I love the beautiful different variation or degrees of the purple there, or the different colors of purple. Again, with that crumb background here. And on this one, you can actually see some butterflies. So I love those butterflies right there. They're so cute. And then this one, you can see I've been using a lot of it. Again, the lavender, some butterflies, some greenery. And then this one has beautiful purple, and on the other side, again, there's some lavender. So it's all about purple. It's all about lavender. We've got our gorgeous grape color, and then we also have some pretty peacock in there. So we will be using that today, and you can find, let me put this back for a minute. If you are interested in this paper, here is the information right there. So I'll sit that there for a moment while I keep on working. So before we jump into it, I want to make sure that you know to check the description below for links to other stampers who are going to show you cards that feature insects. So make sure you jump down to the description and that you do check out the other videos for more with the Stampin' Around the World video hop, okay? And share it. Remember to share it with your friends so that everybody can see what we're doing. A lot of ladies work really hard and we're making lots of cards for you, so we hope that you are enjoying it, and you can give us a thumbs up to let us know that you like what you see. Okay, so we're going to keep on going. The next thing I want to do is I want to die cut some things. So I'm going to be using two colors today. I'll be using the pretty peacock and the gorgeous grape. And the card we are making looks like this. So this is a trifold card. It does have a peekaboo, so it's a fun fold. So I'm calling it a fun fold peekaboo trifold card. a lot of words, but you could just call it a peekaboo card. So I'm going to take the ribbon off just to show you what it looks like inside. So when you open it up, there's your peekaboo, and then you can open it this way, and there's more in there. You can write a message there. So we'll do some stamping there as well. And I'm going to do my best to tell you all the dimensions as we go along so that we can recreate this card. Okay, so we're going to start off by stamping some images. So we are going to be using the Gorgeous Grape. Let me get my mat out here. And we are going to be stamping Thank You using, oh, I think we're using another stamp set here. Yes, so we're going to stamp Thanks using Spotlight on Nature. I love this stamp set because of the thanks and dear friend, and the butterfly there is really cute. I could have used that one, but I did not use that one for this. But with the Spotlight on Nature, I'm just going to put this here. I'm trying to make sure I can give you as much information as you may need. This one is still offered as a bundle, and the information for the bundle is here, and then it is called Spotlight on Nature. You can also buy it individually if you like. But the inside, it does have coordinating dies, and so I'm going to be using some of these dies for my circles. So for my card, I do have 2 circles that I pre-cut already using, I think I used this one here, and then the other one comes from a different one. So I kind of pulled out from a lot of different places. All right, so this information goes with this. I'm going to move that away. I'm not going to need to pull that one out for right now. But I also wanted to have another circle to layer it. And the other circles were just, I liked them, but they were too busy. So I needed something that was more calm. So I used these stylish shapes, and I used this circle here, right there. I'm going to put it back. I had it sticking out to help me remember which one it was. So it's this one. And I cut that out using the Gorgeous Grape cardstock as well. Okay, and that can be found here. There's the item number for that, and that one is $30. Okay, so that was done ahead of time as well. So I'm going to move these here to be used later. I also have these die cuts that I'm going to put there. But to get started, I am going to stamp the thanks that comes from the Spotlight on Nature. And I'm using Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to stamp my thanks towards the bottom here, like that. Make sure I have everything. There we go. And then I am going to stamp butterflies. So I'm stamping the butterflies from the Painted Lavender stamp set. Here are the butterflies. Make sure I'm in the right place. Okay. And I'm going to stamp them in the corner so that I can stamp all, die cut all this out at the same time. Okay, so there we go. I think that's, I was going to stamp one more thing, but I think I'm going to save that for a little bit later. All right, so we're going to die cut these out really quickly. I think I'm going to pull over. Oh, I also have this one. This one I also pulled out from the Stylish Shapes, so that goes right here. So 2 dies from the Stylish Shapes. So I'm going to use that. And I need to get the butterfly one back out. That is here. Oh, and I need to mention that I got the idea for this card from my upline, Gail Murray. She created a card very similar to the one that I'm going to be doing with you. All right, I'm going to put this on here. And I'm going to put my butterflies right there. And I often get just a little bit of tape to help it stay. Let's see. Put that there. And then this one will go with the thanks. And actually, I'm going to have to move this tape because it's in the way of the thanks. And that is not going to work. Okay, so that is there. And then this will go here. And a little bit more tape, just so it doesn't jump around on me. Move it down and put that there. Okay. And we're going to run this through. Awesome. Move that out of the way. Let's see what we have. So we have our butterflies that we'll be using. Oh, 2 of them. Put them there. That die cut to the side. And then also the thanks, which we will be using as well. All right. Oh, there is another thing that I need to die cut. I knew it. So I do need that circle. All right. So here are all of our pieces. Lots of pieces. So this is, let me tell you the measurements for what we have here, just so that you know what we're doing. The card base is 11 by 4 1/4, and I did write it down. So I'm going to stick this here so you can take a peek at that. And I'll leave it there as long as it's not in my way. So you can take a screenshot of that one. And then also I'll show you this one. You can take a screenshot of that so that you have all of the measurements. And I did write down I wrote it in inches and also in centimeters. So that way you can have both measurements for what you need. So to start with, the card base is 11 inches by 4 1/4. I did score it, so in centimeters, that's 28 by 10.8. I scored it at 2 1/16, 6 3/4, and for centimeters, that's 5.2 and 17.2. So I scored it there. So before I fold it, what I want to do is I want to cut out my circle. Yeah, that's the right one. All right, so we're going to use that. So I'm going to pull my Stampin' Emboss machine right back up here. Let me move some things out of the way so that we do have space for it. Okay. So when you are cutting your circle, you want to cut it on the score line. So I'll move that up there. So I'll show you what I mean. So you want to cut it on the score line of the smaller section. So I am going to place it right here so that it's like halfway. It's over a little bit, and then half on this side, half on that side. And I am going to use some tape just to hold it in place to make sure it does not move on me. All right, and we're going to have that go through. And I just go through and then I come back for this one, because I don't want to have impressions all the way at the end, because since some of my paper is sticking out, it would have given it an impression there, and I don't want that. So that is why I went in and then back out. All right, I'm going to move this to the side. And we actually have an extra little circle there that we're not going to use. Okay, and as I'm looking at this, I think I may have used a different circle on my other one, but it's going to be fine. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to fold our card. So I'm going to fold this one coming towards me. I'm going to get my bone folder so I can crease my edges here. And then I'm going to fold this one coming in as well. And line up the edges. And then, there we go. And go across. And go across. Okay, perfect. So it's going to look like this. All right. So hopefully my circle will fit. I'm trying to look, because now I'm looking at this and thinking it's not going to fit. So I cut the wrong one. We're going to do it again. It's okay. It's fine. So I need to cut the bigger circle, which is here, the Spotlight on Nature. This one in here. Yep. That is the one. Second time's a charm. This is real life, people. Here we go. And lining the circle up right around the previous one. Oh, they're on top of each other. And I'm going to slide it right on in there. In and then back out. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's the circle I wanted. There we go. And look, I even have an edge in there. Oh, that's because I had a previous circle. So look at that. That's interesting. All right, not going to use that. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to start layering. So we have lots of pieces over here. So let me grab them out so that we can get ready to use them. So I tried to layer them so that I would know what would go first. So this is going to go on the outside. So we're going to layer that all right here. So I used the Perennial Lavender Designer Series paper, and I'm going to put this image, which has the pretty peacock color on the back. I'm going to layer that onto my basic white and layer that onto my purple. The dimensions for this are right here. So I have this for the Designer Series paper. It's 3 5/8 by 3 5/8 centimeters, 9.3 by 9.3. For the white, this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. For centimeters, it's 9.5 by 9.5. And then I'm layering it onto this purple Gorgeous Grape Designer Series paper, 4 by 4 inches. And 10.2 by 10.24 centimeters. Okay, so we're going to layer that really quickly using my Stampin' Seal. If I take the lid off there, and I just refilled it, so we should be good to go. Out of the way. I'm going to layer it here, and you want to make sure that you orient if you have like directional paper, you want to make sure you orient it the right way. So I know this needs to go like this and not like this. And I'm going to put that on top of here. And the best thing with Stampin' Seal, sometimes you have to get it going again, is to just push really softly. Like you don't have to give a lot of pressure. It works better when you go across lightly. And I'm going to layer that right onto my Gorgeous Grape. And add some seal to the back of it. This is beautiful too, to the back of it. And then I'm going to add that. So I'm folding the card in so we know it looks like this open. I'm going to fold this flap down and I'm going to center this here. And sometimes it could be hard to see, so you might want to open it up and center it. That way you can see where your score line is and where your edges are and make sure that you are lining it up well. Okay, there we go. So it looks like that. And now we're going to put some on the inside as well. So for the inside, I am going to repeat what I did for the outside. So these dimensions are the exact same as the outside. So you can see those same dimensions right here. It's this exact same. I'm going to order it. I am using a different piece of the paper, so I'm using the reverse side of this. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this one. Layer it onto my basic white, which would be here. And then I'm going to layer that onto the Gorgeous Grape. And that is here. It looks like that. Put adhesive on the back of this. And in terms of it being directional, I'm thinking of the recipient opening it like this. So then I would have it going this way. Then I want to put a message right here. So I have these. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to write this down. So we're going to do this really quickly together. So Stampin' Up! Has these rulers, which are awesome, except the inches go this way and the centimeters go that way. So I actually have to take it and turn. I need two. I have to take it and turn one this way and turn one that way to line it up and let them start at the same place. So my basic white cardstock in terms of inches, well, I'm going to do it this way. My basic white cardstock is actually 3.5 inches. All right, let's write that down. 3.5 inches. So 3.5 inches by, well, let's see what our centimeters are as well. So if that's 3.5 inches, that is going to be 8.5 centimeters. think that's right. So 8.5 centimeters by, let's see, so that was 3.5. Now we're going to turn it this way. And for inches, it is 2. So 2.5 is probably what I was aiming for. It looks like it's a little under. We're going to call it 2.5. So this is 2.5. And if that's 2.5, I'm sure people are out there like, you know, yelling what the centimeters are, but I don't have a centimeter brain. I have an inches brain, so I'm trying to accommodate everyone. So this would be 6 centimeters, and let's see for my half, 1, 2, 3. Let me put it in here. So 2.5 is going to take me to 6, 1, 2, 3, 6.3. If I am not right, please put it in the description. Let's help us everyone out, okay? All right, so that would go on top of my gorgeous grape. And my gorgeous grape is probably just like, okay, my gorgeous grape is 3 5/8. So 3 5/8, okay. So now 3 5/8 will come back to here. So my gorgeous grape is 3 5/8 by 2 5/8, which means it is 9.3 centimeters by how many centimeters? By 6.6 centimeters. Okay, so 6.6 centimeters. And then my pretty and peacock is, I'm not going to write it all down. 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. Yep, to do that. And then that means centimeters. It is 9.5 centimeters by 7 centimeters. Okay, all right. So hopefully you got that. I'm not going to write it down because I want to keep going. I don't want this to be a 45-minute video. All right, I am going to get ready to adhere these, but before I do, let me go ahead and stamp something on here really quickly. Let's stamp some beautiful lavender. So I do want to use my matte, since when you use a photopolymer stamp set, it is good if you use a matte so that you can get the equal amount of pressure on your image, or a glass mat if you have a glass mat, which I do, but I didn't pull it out. So I'm going to just stamp here, lift up, turn it a little bit, and stamp again, so I can have that variation of color again. I like when it does, when I have that, makes it look more real than if it's all the same color, because flowers are not all the same color. You have different hues and variations. So now we are going to layer this. So let me turn it over, put some adhesive on the back. And I'm going to make sure I put it in the right order. Layer it on the purple. Just a little bit around for a border. And more adhesive to layer it on our pretty peacock cardstock. Awesome. This is going to be our message. We're going to put it here. I'm going to sit it right here. Okay, so now we have the inside and the outside. So we have to get ready for our butterfly. So I did intend to go with start my butterfly early, and I forgot. So here we go. I'm using the paper butterfly accents, and they are in here. This was the hardest part of my card because I was trying to figure out what should pop up and how it should look when it popped up. So here we go. I'll show you what I came up with, and if you have some ideas or suggestions, let me know, because I've thought about this for quite some time. So I have 2 of them, because the first thing I did, I didn't love, so I added more to it. I often do that. If I don't love it, then I add a little bit more. So I'm going to, these are the paper butterfly accents. I'm going to put, oops, 1 on here and then 1 there. So what I did is I used a water painter, and I used some gorgeous grape ink, and some pretty peacock ink. And I decided to just have some fun and do some coloring. So let's see, to make sure it's kind of wet. I'm doing it on a paper towel. I know I can use so many other things, but I decided to do it on a paper towel. And I'm painting that part Gorgeous Grape, and then I'm going to go darker so I can have some darker parts. And this is all trial and error. There's no perfect way to do this. I'm going to add some here. Let's see, it's moving away on me. I'm trying to get it, create as much symmetry as I can because butterflies are symmetrical, but this is a crafted butterfly, so it may not be as perfect. Okay, I'm going to clean that. Now I'm going to add some pretty peacock to the outer parts here. I'm trying to just make sure I color it all in so that I don't have any white parts showing. I'll do the same thing over here. So if you have butterflies, what have you done with these butterflies? How have you decorated with them? Did you leave them white? Did you use water painting like this with a water painter? What did you do? How did you do it? Because I have them and rarely use them because I'm never exactly sure of what I want to do with them. All right, so I'm making this lighter here. I'm going to go back and get more Gorgeous Grape because I want to make sure that we can see it there. I'll cover up all the white spots. I'm actually going to put a little bit on the edges here. It's going to blend in, which I am okay with. I need a little bit more here. So I'm trying to create that symmetry, trying to keep it going. And one thing I did learn is be very careful with the antenna because one did break off and I had to just apply it back. So I'm only going to do a little bit on the antenna. So I'm actually just going to, I say a little bit, but here I go back again and again. Okay, that's going to be it. A little bit more pretty peacock down here. Sometimes you have to layer your color in because it does get absorbed by the cardstock or the paper. And okay, so I did that, and after I did that, I decided I wanted to make it a little glittery because who doesn't love glitter and shimmer and shine? So then I grabbed some Wink of Stella, and with the Wink of Stella, I went right on top of it. And that could be where I went wrong with my antenna. That could be why they started to break off. So I'm trying to just give it a second here. Okay, and oh, that's the water painter. Here we go with the Wink of Stella, and I just went over top of everything. Just like this. Just to give it a little bit of shimmer and shine, some sparkle. Everything looks better with a little bit of sparkle, in my opinion. So our theme was insects, so I decided to do butterflies. I thought about doing bees, and then I went with the butterflies because I had some of this paper and I wanted to use it. So hopefully you like it, and I can't wait to see what the other ladies did. So remember to check the description below so you can see how everyone interpreted using insects for the month of October. Okay, so we have a couple more things to do while that dries. I'm going to bring back my circles in, and I'm going to turn one over, put some adhesive on the back of it, and layer that right on top of the pretty peacock one. Looks so cute together. It looks like a coin or something. I'm going to bring my card back in, and I'm going to adhere it right in there. So I want to make sure that, you know, it can still close, that it looks good. So I like to give a little bit of space here. So if you pull it down, you can see a little bit of space there and a little bit of space there. Just makes the opening and closing a little bit easier. So I am going to put some dimensionals. And then that means my dimensionals need to be under these fingers. And I'm going to grab some dimensionals from here. Put one there, one there, and one in the center here. Okay. Push down. Could use my take your pick tool. I'm trying to get better at just picking them off. There we go. Putting them in there. Every time I do that, they pop somewhere else. I don't know if I'm saving time, but it's fun. All right. So now I am going to try and line that circle back up. And I'm going to actually close it some. I know, I'm making this harder than it needs to be. It's just what I do sometimes. Okay, I'm going to push down and pray that it's good. It is, yay. All right, so it looks like that. How cute is that? All right, the next thing we're going to do is add something here. I have some strips I want to add in. These strips, if I think about my measurements, which I moved away, let me grab them back. I know you can't see them. I'm trying to make room so that you can. Okay, so the strips I wrote on the back here at the top. So we have two strips. I have a purple one and then a pattern one. My first card, I made it this way with this butterfly so that you could see it, but then I put ribbon on it and covered it up so it didn't matter. So I thought I'm just going to turn it this way because that's cute too. So the purple one is 6/8 of an inch by 4 1/4 inches, or that, another, you know, that's for blah, 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 blah. In centimeters, that's 4.5 centimeters by 10.8. This strip one here, this one is 4 1/4 inches by 5/8 of an inch. And this one in centimeters is 10.8 by 4.1. That doesn't even sound right. How can this, oh, I hope it's right. Yep, I hope it's right. Okay. If not, look at what inches are for this to be 4 1/4 and for this to be 5/8 of an inch and convert that over. My apologies for this one because that doesn't sound right. So I don't think that one is right. Again, if you do know the conversion, please put it in the description. All right, I'm going to add some adhesive if I can turn this around. And here. And then layer it on. And it may be slightly too long, and if it is, I actually love when it's a little too long because then it's not too short. And then I can just cut it to make sure that it fits. And then this is going to get adhered right here, leaving a little bit of purple peeking through. Gorgeous grape. Purple, gorgeous grape. Let's put some adhesive on here, just using my Stampin' Seal, because it works fine for me. And I'm going to add that right here and go across with that. Oh, looks pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna move directions or the dimensions out of the way. So now we have this. We are now going to add some things to the front and we'll add the butterfly last. So I want to get started by adding these two that I cut out. So my pretty peacock greenery and then some lavender. So I am going to use some of my liquid Tombow here, the green glue, and I am going to adhere the big one first, putting little dots right where the spaces are bigger. I'm not going to have everything covered, but by putting it where the bigger spaces are, that will help it to stay there. And I'm just going to have it come down like this. Just want to make sure that it's viewable. Okay. And for the lavender, again, we're going to put some down here. And on those bigger spaces. I'm going to move it away from my card in case it falls. Okay, I think this is good. I'm going to take it and turn it. and have it go up just a little bit like this. And when you're using the green glue, you do want to hold it in place so that it will adhere. Because if you don't hold it in place, sometimes it will pop up. The other thing too is sometimes it will slide. So you want to be careful to make sure that you do give it that time to adhere before nudging it, because it will move on you, and you don't want it, unless you want it to move, but most people put it down and don't want it to move. All right, so I'm going to take my thanks. I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of it. So we're going to add 3. 1 to this end, 1 to this end. Try to make that flat part at the bottom there, and then 1 for the center. Like that. And I'm just going to peel these off and see if they go flying this time from my hand. No, they went in nicely. All right, and then I'm going to adhere this to the bottom right here, just like that. And we want to add these little butterflies. So 1 butterfly, the big one, we're going to put right there. So we are going to just use some green glue. Some green glue for him. And stick him right here. And of course, like I said, you can nudge it around. So I put it down and turned it just a little bit. Then this one, I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue on there. And then hold my breath while I try to pick it up. Let's see if I can get it with this. Yeah. All right. And this little guy is going to be near the lavender there. I'm going to hold that down so it stays in place, and that one as well. We're almost done. Thanks for sticking with me. I'm going to add the painted butterfly first. So I'm going to put that one here sticking out. It doesn't look too bad. And what I did before is I put the white one on top of it, but I'm wondering if I should just offset it with the white one under it this time. I think I am. Unless I offset it like this, will it go in there? I think I'm going to put it on top. So I'm going to turn this one over and use my green glue again. And let's hope the antenna stays there. Just adding some dots. All right. And I'm going to stick it there. Oh, I forgot. No, whoa. I wanted to put it on top of the white one. I'm going to put it on top of the white one like that. I forgot what I was doing. And then we're going to put the white one there. It will be fine. Everything will be fine. I'm not going to get bent out of shape because I did it wrong first. Okay, here we go. And now I'm going to stick this right into the spaces where the glue was before. And hold that down. While I recap this. And we are almost done. 1 step left. I know you're like, wow, Maureen, what else are you doing to this card? Actually, 2 steps left. Well, just 2 more things. Real quick things, I promise. The first thing is we're going to add some ribbon to it so that it will stay closed. This is the iridescent 1/2-inch stripe trim. So I'm going to take some and wrap it around like this. I tend to keep it on the spool so that I don't cut more than I need. I think this is good. I'm going to tie it here. Use my thumb to hold it still. Wrap that around. And try to be very flexible with my fingers. There we go. And then I need to make some pretty edges. Like that. I love this ribbon. It's so shiny and it adds a little bit of elegance to what you're doing. It's on page 113 in the annual catalog. And then my last step is using these. These are Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. And they have lots of different colors here. I believe there's 4 different hues. I'm going to use this one here. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool and grab a couple. I'm going to put one, I think I had one here. And then I put a second one next to it. And then I put one over here. You can put them wherever you like. I do like working in threes. I think it just gives nice balance. So that's what I have. Those are the Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. They are in the annual catalog. Oh, maybe they're not. I'm not sure. But that was the item number that you could find to order them. So here is my finished card. It is a tri-fold, fun fold, peekaboo card. It's an insect. I used the butterfly. My original one that I did take the ribbon off of. Let's see if I can scoot it back on. This one I put the white on top of the painted butterfly. So you tell me, which one do you like the best? Do you like it with the white on top or do you like it with the color on top? And I think one last thing, I know I said I was done, but sometimes I look at my card and I think, you know, you should do a couple more things. So I'm going to add some of these gems to my butterfly. And I know I'm using different colors. It's okay. So there we go. So now the butterfly has some gems, and I think that does something to it. We can put some over here too. Let's see what that does for this one. There we go. So let me know, which one do you like the best? White on top or the painted one on top? Awesome. Okay, as always, remember to check the description so that you can see the videos from the other ladies. And remember to subscribe to my channel, hit the thumbs up to like it, and then also hit the bell icon to get notifications for more videos. And I will see you next time with a whole new theme for Stampin' Around the World. So check out what the other ladies did. Can't wait to see you next month. Bye-bye.